Well, I mean that this is Monroe, and I'll tell you what, about a year ago or so, Kaylyn Ramsey went missing. We now know that she was murdered in February of last year, and by March they found her body. But what a weird plan. In fact, the judge called it ridiculous. 6 people were arrested. 5 of those 6 pled guilty to various aspects of murder. 1 person tried his case, and the jury, about an hour and a half as well, found that guy guilty. Today, sentencing for 4 of those. Okay, the motive for this murder, I gotta get this right here because I don't even believe it. Apparently, a group of those 6 friends got together. They wanted to give a gift to the leader for the leader's wedding, and the gift, the murder of the leader's ex-girlfriend. Take a look.
A state policeman woke me up and told me he had found my daughter and she had been murdered.
23-year-old Kaylyn Ramsey had once dated the leader, Stephen Bails. But a day after Stephen married Narena, eventually a total of 6 friends were convicted of a plot to murder Kaylyn. Some say it was a wedding present. Thursday in Monroe court was sentencing.
You should have alerted somebody to this ridiculous plan, and you didn't do that.
And with that, the newlywed got a sentence of 13 to 30 years. And then the lookout, Sierra Bemis, who acted as the lookout during the murder and whose boyfriend apparently lured the victim to the abandoned Boysville, was sentenced.
Anybody would know that when they're told to go dress in black, that's the time to put the brakes on.
18 to 30 years. And Alexander Feko, the cleanup man.
He was the guy who came forward to help break this open.
But he also tried to dispose of the murder weapon and was sentenced to 5 to 10 years. Next, 45-year-old Stephen Bails, the leader.
I'm 83 years old. I never thought I'd live to see it ever happen, especially one of my grandkids.
And the only one of 6 defendants to try his case, but the jury was out about an hour. They said guilty.
You can't just eliminate someone because they irritate you or gather a bunch of sycophants to follow you in this ridiculous plan.
Judge called this a ridiculous plan.
It was a ridiculous plan.
But he also said that your son was the leader.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
All right, so I did talk to, as you can see, the defendants, the one that was, he got life in prison, by the way. They are going to appeal. That's what they tell me. Also, there are 2 more defendants. They will be sentenced next week for their roles in this kind of weird murder plan. And finally, this motive is still a little bit unclear. Some people dispute it, but they all knew each other, the victim and the 6. At one time, they were friends. But there were a lot of questions still to be answered. But the bottom line, every one of those 6 will do lots of time in prison, including the leader who got sentenced to life without parole, I should say. Taryn, I am live here in Monroe County Court.
Yeah.
Taryn?
I was going to ask, how did investigators eventually discover this elaborate and rather bizarre plan? I mean, did someone turn on somebody, or did they find perhaps a text chain that really revealed what was going on? It is so strange.
Yeah, it's very strange. And actually, the authorities were really working. This was a big story. I know we covered it quite a bit. But the bottom line is one of the people, the cleanup guy, actually kind of squealed on the other ones. And he was the one that actually broke it open. Didn't really affect the judge. He still got, I forget what it was, 13, I think it was, 18 to 30 years in prison. So he's got a lot of time to think about it. But yeah, you've got all those people. And what's really amazing here is that the leader was able to gather 5 other people and convince them of this weird plot. I need a wedding present, so let's kill my ex-girlfriend. And they said, okay, we'll do it. And that's essentially what happened. But how did the cops, give some credit to the cops here in Monroe County. It was a wide effort. The Michigan State Police also involved in this too, but they finally cracked the case. But it took a couple of weeks. And again, this body, unfortunately, Kaylyn was shot 3 times, the body covered up, left for dead, and they tried to dispose of the evidence, and some people were convicted of that today as well.
Such a shame, but thanks for breaking it down for us there, Charlie. Appreciate it.